Welcome back. If you do not know me, my name is Laura Jane. I'm the founder of Inversion Addict Academy, where I teach you how to practice headstands all the way through to holding strong handstands. And if you're wanting to learn how to practice inversions and have a really strong practice, you can check out the link below in the description and I will see you there. But for now, in this video, we are going to talk about some handstand drills that you can practice using the wall that as a beginner are going to help you a lot with finding your alignment, finding some stability, maybe even a few seconds of float away from the wall. I'm going to show you some exercises here and I want you just to watch and take it in. If you're wanting to practice these things, make sure that you are warming up first and you're not just hopping into this cold. So the first drill that I'm going to show you is a bit more of a traditional one, and that is kicking against the wall. I'm going to be kicking up against it with one leg extended and one leg tucked, aiming to keep my core engaged and strong and to not let my foot slam into the wall. So that will be your goal here, to just try to get that foot up to the wall as softly as possible. So I'm going to place my hands down, not too far away from the wall, but only a few inches or about half a foot. Walking my hips up. If you haven't already, please watch the handstand foundation video so you know where to place your hands. Extending one leg, and then I'm just going to hop up with the other and tuck it in. So the wall is here, right? And this way I can touch the wall if I need to, but ideally you're practicing getting a bit of a float here and lifting your ankle, your heel, away from that wall. Keeping this front leg tucked is very important. If I reach it back, I'm going to fall back onto that wall. So that front leg keeps you anchored towards the ground. Okay, I'm going to come down. So if you are practicing this exercise on your own, I would practice hopping up on one leg, say 5 times, trying to catch a few seconds of air and then coming down, coming upright or laying down on the ground, catching your breath, and then doing the same thing on the bad side, which always feels more awkward, but it's very important that we practice it. So now I'm extending up the other leg and tucking in the one that I'm pushing off the ground with. So the wall's here if I need it, but I'm going to try to get away from it. And down. And we just do a few of those to get the hang of it. So see, it took me a second there to get my knee down, and that was very important. So it always will take a bit of playing around, but that is one way to use the wall, and that is a great drill. Now, if you're wanting to use the wall to feel your full handstand line, it's very important that you're placing your hands right at the very base of the wall, so that we're not doing what I did before and placing them about a foot away. This time I'm placing right at the very base, and I'm trying to get as flat to that wall as possible. So I'll show you what that looks like. So obviously the closer you get your hands, the harder it is to kick up and not slam in and have it send you back to the ground. And that is half of the challenge with this drill. It's going to help you get that right amount of momentum as you learn to kick up. So once I'm against that wall, I'm focusing on that straight line technique, pushing up through my shoulders, engaging my core, squeezing my butt, tucking my rib cage, looking in between my hands the best that I can. And if you can try to get some float. And then I come back down. So that's another drill that you're going to want to practice right at the base of the wall and record your results with. That way you can start to work on holding that really strong handstand line without being in the middle of the room and worrying about that curved banana back. So that is a very important drill. So we have hopping up against the wall with one leg extended and the other leg tucked, practicing that on both sides. And then we have your handstand line, which you practice right at the very base. And as a beginner, you're going to want to just practice this by kicking up against the wall. But as you get more comfortable with your handstand line, there's another drill that you can use with the wall that is a really great challenge for your core strength and stability as you enter it. And then it's also going to allow you to practice the drop gaze. So I will show you what that looks like, but keep in mind this is a bit more advanced. So with this drill, I'm starting with my hands pretty far away from the wall. And my goal here is to walk my belly, my face up to the wall while keeping my core strong, inching up 1 foot at a time. And then I'm getting my hands as close to the wall as I can, which is very close, but it's kind of scary. So it's kind of scary, but you just got to trust yourself, engage your core. And then if you feel comfortable, you can practice dropping your head. And then you can either walk back out or just come back down to the side. For an added challenge, you'd walk yourself back out the same way that you entered. So that is a more advanced handstand line drill. It's going to have you building a bit more stability and strength in your shoulders as you walk yourself up. And then you get to practice the drop gaze by dropping your head down and basically bringing your forehead to the wall. And so often with handstands, you just see people kicking up against it. And using the wall in this kind of different way is actually super valuable to our handstand practice, and there's a lot more drills where we can use the wall where we are facing it. So what I'm going to show you now is how we can continue to use that wall in that kind of different capacity where I'm facing it this time, to help you understand some of the key shapes in your handstand practice. Your pike, your straddle, your tuck, and again, we just did the line. So we've covered the line. So we'll just look at the pike, straddle, and tuck. So instead of going against the wall, this time the wall again will be in front of me, like that handstand line drill. And I'm going to be using it to just keep my feet on while I get into proper alignment. So this is going to look a little bit different for everyone because we all have different lengthed arms and legs, but you're just going to have to do some experimenting. But this is generally how it works. So generally, you're just placing your hands down about the same distance as your leg from the wall. And then I'm putting my feet up onto the wall. And say I'm looking at a straddle here. Both feet go wide. I'm on my tippy toes, pushing up through my shoulders and trying to find that alignment so that if I wanted to, I could float and bring my feet away from the wall. This is going to help you really feel the shoulder alignment that you need to be able to achieve to hold these shapes. And then if I place my hands just a little bit further away because of the extension through my legs, I can then practice the pike as well this way using the wall. Again, these are very complex shapes in your handstand, so being able to use the wall like this is a huge advantage. So I'm a bit too far away. So I'm going to bring my hands back a bit closer again. So I'm floating right now, and then I can come back to the wall. Floating, wall. So those shapes, they're not easy. The straddle is definitely a lot easier than the pike, so I would suggest trying the straddle first. But it is about finding that alignment of your hips being balanced or even a little bit past your shoulders. So if you're finding that this feels like it's too much of a strain on your shoulders, you may want to start to work on your overhead mobility, and that is something that we do work on together in Inversion Addict Academy. So if you are finding that you need some extra drills for that, you can go check out the link in the description below. So I will just also quickly show you the tuck. The tuck, you have to get a bit closer to the wall, and it's a little bit trickier. So you kind of have to get your feet up on the wall and wiggle your hands under. And then we're tucking in one leg into that tuck form. So making sure your knee's staying low. You're not extending back like this. Knee tucked towards your chest, heel towards your bum. And then trying to match it with the other foot if you can, bringing your legs together. The wall's here if you need it. I'm trying to get some float. So in this instance, we're really just using the wall to align your hips. So you're not kicking up against it and letting your hips and everything rely on that wall. This is a more independent, freestanding way to use the wall because you have the opportunity to float. And once you're floating, you're basically in the middle of the room. You have room to fall next to you, you have room to fall over. So place down some cushions if you're feeling nervous about it at all. But these are some great ways to start to practice handstands using the wall, where you can focus on the most important foundation techniques, which is your handstand line, your tuck, your pike, your straddle, as well as how much momentum and effort it's going to take to kick up, and starting to build more strength and stability in your shoulders with some of these drills. So if you'd like to learn more with me, go check out the link in the description below and join me at Inversion Addict Academy. It's only $12.95 a month, and right now we are running a holiday discount. So if you're watching this and it's the holiday time, you can sign up for 50% off using the code HOLIDAY50 in capital letters. I will put it in the description below. Go have fun, learn some inversions on your time off, or gift it to a friend and get them learning inversions with you. All right, comment below if you have any questions, like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you would like to see more. I will see you next week. Have a wonderful start to your holidays.